Today's video is brought to you by Hex Gaming. Let me ask you a question. Do you need that competitive edge in that first-person shooter, third-person shooter? Are you just getting straight clapped by the competition? Or how about that raid in that console MMO? Do you need something to give you some ease for your next cooldown, make your rotation a little bit simpler? You need some customizable buttons? Or do you just want a flashy controller? Visit Hex Gaming today and use promo code TNEC127 to get 5% off anything you order in the Hex Gaming store. That's hexgaming.com. Use promo code TNEC127 at checkout to get yourself a discount. Enjoy the video, guys. Hello gamers and gamettes, what is going on? My name is TNEC127 and welcome back to another video. And in today's video, guys, I got a little something I want to talk to you guys about. I'll be doing videos like this slowly throughout the year coming into 2022, but you guys should have knew the Xbox Series S was first on my list because it was the first console I got. As of by the time you guys are watching this video, I'll have owned this console for a little bit over a year. Also, I do want to say, enjoy the gameplay in the background. You know why? I specifically put this gameplay up here. Now, I know I'm an MMO, RPG, ARPG, and MOBA-based channel, but I wanted to use this. You know why? Because this is for those people that sleep on console. You know, that sleep on the next-gen machines. Or, you know, they're not quite on par with PC yet and stuff like that. Well, this is Unreal Engine 5 Matrix gameplay, my own gameplay. This isn't no graphical showcase, no CG stuff. No. This is me with my controller playing the Matrix Unreal Engine 5 demo on an Xbox Series S. So while you're sitting there watching this video and pondering in your mind whether or not you think this console's worth it, you can, enjoy that Unreal Engine 5 gameplay. And if that doesn't sell you, maybe my words will, hopefully. But anyway, let's go ahead and talk about it. So I've owned the Xbox Series S for a little bit over a year now. I got mine on launch day last November. By the time you guys are seeing this video, it'll probably be late December, maybe even very close to early January. Now, how am I feeling about the Xbox Series S so far? It is probably one of the most simplest next-gen consoles I have ever got in my life. And this will be actually one of the only times I've purchased a next-gen console right at release. And I have to say, a year's gone by, no bugs, no issues, no heating problems, no BS, knock on wood. But yeah, so far the console's been pretty well. Now, as of heating and cooling, the console's quiet, but however, these CPUs they have in these next-gen consoles, they get really warm. And if you're not quite used to that, it may bother you a bit. So, that's one thing I do want to throw out there. Now, if you're a PlayStation 4 owner, and no offense to PlayStation guys, but we all know that bad boy got hot. So, you may be used to this, but the Xbox Series S, if you're used to, the Xbox One X and the Xbox One S, this one gets a hell of a lot warmer than those previous consoles. And that's not just the Series S. The Series X does too. My girl has the Series X. So I've actually got to play the Series S side by side with a lot of games and see. Now, one thing that does annoy me with this console a bit is especially last year when the console was first announced, the media came at this console hard. And the main difference is, I'm going to explain it to you guys here, is because of the 4 teraflop debacle. And if you don't know what that's about, is the debate is simple. The Xbox One X, which was their previous gen upgraded version of the Xbox One, is a 6 teraflop machine. The Xbox Series S is a 4 teraflop machine. So a lot of people just took the teraflop numbers and assumed that the Series S is a weaker console. But I'm going to explain to you guys what they did here and stuff like that, and why this is not the case. Now, the Xbox Series S over this whole year has proven itself big time. It has destroyed the One X in so many different ways. I mean, you can go watch one video by Digital Foundry. If you If you know anything about video games and, you know, you watch them regularly on YouTube, you know who Digital Foundry are. Just look them up. They got graphical comparisons all day. It's real easy and obvious to see. I don't even think this debate is much of a thing anymore, but it really annoyed me last year. And I told people this was going to happen. The console was going to stomp. The thing with the Series S and the problem with the last gen consoles is they had these CPUs that were called Jaguar cores. And they were already really behind in last gen hardware as it is. And these kept those consoles drastically behind. Well, the current gen consoles we have now, the PlayStation 5, Series X, and S, they have CPUs in them that are about the equivalent of roughly in a Ryzen 7 or an i7 CPU. If you know much about gaming PCs, and I say roughly because, you know, they're not quite on par with that. I think the PC versions of them may have more cores or something, or deliver a bit more horsepower, but that's the best equivalent of what these consoles are up to now. Now, anybody with a PC that has that kind of hardware in it or higher, and I'm going to put it to you like this. When it comes to Ryzen and the Intel series of CPUs, the only steps above those, I mean, there's more options out there, obviously, but the only steps really above those are the Ryzen 9 and the i9. And if you have a PC on that level, you are, you know, they're in the couple $1,000 ranges. Those CPUs alone are a couple grand. So we have consoles with, you know, the CPUs of, like, you know, of current high-end PCs. That's the kind of that'll tell you, you know, the kind of power that's in these bad boys. Now, the thing about the Xbox Series S is it has a weaker graphics card than the Series X, hence the whole 6 versus 4 teraflop thing. However, that better CPU lets this console do far more than the Xbox One X ever could. And, you know, there's so many games out there now that are running on Series S that just wouldn't work on the One X. And, you know, that was always going to be the case, because whether you can tell or not, or you let the, you know, the whole teraflop debacle bother your head or not, the Series S is literally just a 1080p or 1440p version of the Series X. I've done it. I've played a bunch of games with it here on my channel at 120 frames per second in 1080p. I've played plenty at 60 frames per second in 1440p. I have a 1440p 165 hertz monitor sitting right here in my room. This footage you guys are looking at right here was done in 1440p. Unfortunately, my OBS doesn't record at 1440p, but you guys get what you know what I'm saying here. The console is truly next gen at an affordable price. The only thing about this console that makes me mad is the memory. And when you buy this console and, you know, the amount that they charge for the memory, you kind of look at it as if, you know, well, I might as well just buy the Series X, because when you buy the memory card in this console, it's going to cost $500 anyway. True, but if you go this route, you still do get more memory overall than what you would totally in a Series X. Because remember, a Series X is 1 terabyte before this system installs software. So keep that in mind. A Series S is 500 gigabytes plus that 1 terabyte card before the system installs software. So at the end of the day, if you buy a Series X for 500, you'll have about 800 gigabytes worth of storage. If you buy a Series S and a memory card, you'll have about 1.3 terabytes worth of storage to, you know, to go home with. And like I said, guys, I've played this thing side by side with multiple Series X games thanks to my girlfriend, and even she sometimes can't tell. Says she doesn't see a big difference between the two consoles. Trust me, guys, if you want to go next gen, especially on Xbox, the Series S is the way to go. And I'm not here to knock the Series X. I'm just here to reassure people that the Series S is also a valid option. I've been playing it for a year straight, and I have no complaints besides the memory whatsoever. But anyway, guys, let me know how you guys are feeling. Have you picked up the Series S? Are you considering it? Or are you going to go with the Series X? Let me know down in the comments below. I will see y'all in the next video. Have a great holiday. Peace out.